At 3 a.m., my bunkmate shook me awake and said, "Stay quiet." I opened my eyes to complete darkness. Mike was crouched next to my rack, his hand pressed firmly over my mouth. I could feel him trembling. "Don't move." He mouthed the words more than spoke them. I nodded slowly. He removed his hand and pointed toward the door. Through the small window, I could see a flashlight beam sweeping down the hallway. Then footsteps, heavy boots, more than one person. Mike pulled me off my rack and onto the floor. We crawled behind the row of lockers just as the door opened. Two figures entered. I recognized the first one immediately. Staff Sergeant Turner, our platoon sergeant, the man who trained us for 8 months. The second figure stayed in the shadows. "Check the weapons locker." Turner whispered it like a command he'd given before. The shadow moved toward the back of the barracks where we stored our rifles. I heard the combination lock clicking. Then, the metal door swinging open. "How many this time?" the shadow asked. "4 should do it," Turner answered. "They won't notice until inventory next month." My blood went cold. They were stealing weapons from our own armory. Government property. The kind of crime that ends careers and starts prison sentences. Mike ripped my arm so hard it hurt. His eyes were wide with fear. The shadow emerged carrying a duffel bag that clinked with metal. He walked past our hiding spot, close enough that I could smell cigarette smoke on his uniform. "Same time Thursday?" the shadow asked. Turner nodded. Then they were gone. We stayed frozen behind those lockers for what felt like hours. Finally, Mike exhaled. "I saw them last week," he whispered. "Thought I was dreaming. But tonight I followed Turner when he left his quarters." "Why didn't you report it?" "To who?" "Turner runs everything. He signs off on the inventory himself. He picks who gets promoted. He decides who gets deployed." Mike was right. Turner had more power over our lives than anyone else on base. One bad word from him and you're scrubbing latrines for 6 months. Or worse. I spent the next 3 days gathering evidence. Took photos of the weapons locker. Documented the serial numbers of what was missing. Recorded timestamps of when Turner left his quarters. Mike told me I was crazy. That Turner would destroy us both if he found out, but I couldn't let this go. On Thursday night, I hid in the supply closet across from the armory. Camera ready, heart pounding. Turner showed up at 0300 exactly. Same shadow with him. I recorded everything. The combination, the exchange, the duffel bag. Then Turner turned and looked directly at the supply closet door. "I know you're in there, Private." My stomach dropped through the floor. He walked toward me slowly, opened the door, saw the camera in my hands. "Brave." He said it without emotion. "Stupid, but brave." The shadow stepped forward and I finally saw his face. Lieutenant Colonel Harris, the base commander. My commanding officer was stealing weapons with my platoon sergeant. Turner reached for my camera. I stepped back. "Give it to me and we forget this happened," Harris said. "You get promoted. Good assignments. Early discharge if you want it." I looked at the camera, then at the two men who controlled my entire military career. "Where are the weapons going?" Turner and Harris exchanged a look. "Private, you don't want to know." I pressed record again. "Now I do." Harris's jaw tightened. "Cartels. South of the border. They pay triple what the government does. They were selling American weapons to drug cartels. Weapons that would be used to kill civilians. Maybe even other soldiers." I turned and ran. They chased me across the base. I made it to the MP station and burst through the door holding the camera above my head. "I need to report a crime." My voice was shaking. "Weapons trafficking. Staff Sergeant Turner and Lieutenant Colonel Harris." The MP on duty stared at me. Then, at the two men who'd followed me in. "This private is having a mental episode," Harris said smoothly. "Sleepwalking. We were trying to help him back to his barracks." The MP looked uncertain. I held up the camera. "It's all on here. Every word they said. Every weapon they took." Harris lunged for it. The MP stepped between us. "Sir, I'm going to need you to stay back." 3 hours later, CID had both men in custody. The camera footage was enough for immediate arrests. They found 47 stolen weapons in a storage unit off base. Harris's bank accounts showed over $200,000 in cartel payments. Mike visited me after the interrogation. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. "How did you know they wouldn't just take the camera and bury you?" "I didn't." He shook his head. "You could have died." I thought about those weapons, where they were going, who they would hurt. Some things are worth the risk. Mike was quiet for a long moment. Then he pulled something from his pocket. A challenge coin with our unit's insignia. "Turner gave me this when I graduated basic," he said. "Told me it meant I was part of something bigger than myself." He dropped it in the trash can. He was right about one thing. We are part of something bigger, and tonight you proved it.